Okay, so lately I've been using some newer products that I've been testing out and that I really love. So in this video, I'm just gonna kind of share them with you guys. First thing I'm gonna do is prime my face. So I have really been loving this No Pore Blem Plight, it's a tongue twister. No Pore Blem Primer. I'll link everything that I use down below, because then this video is gonna just take 3 times as long. But I just put 1 drop. This is like super concentrated, so you really don't need a ton of it. I have this little scarf on my head to keep my hair somewhat out of my face. I'm just gonna put that all over my face. It's supposed to fill in pores. I don't know if it really does it. I feel like when you use a powder, that kind of works a little better, but I like it. It's simple, easy, it's really smooth. I feel like it creates like a really smooth canvas on your face, which is why I like to use it. I've had this color corrector for a really long time. The orange is pretty much done, and I never ever used the yellow, but since it was done and I don't want to like waste it, I've been like, oh, let me use the yellow, and I really like it. So I have a lot of marks going on, unfortunately. My face is just always going crazy. It's annoying, but this is what we're working with. So I just use this to color correct in the same way that I would if I was using the orange side. And then I take like this little stippling brush and I just like to blend it in that way, because I feel like it just blends it out a little bit better when I use this type of brush. It just spreads the product in those problem areas a bit better. So now that I have done my color correcting and my primer, I'm gonna move on to my foundation. And I have been obsessed with it. I've been loving it. If you wanna know more detailed information about this, I am gonna do a separate video where I show you like various shades that they have and give you like a ton more information about it. But this is all that I've been using every time I do my makeup. So what I'm gonna do is use 2 shades. So I have 116.5, which is Coffee, and 118, which is Selena. 116.5 is closest to my skin tone shade, and then since this is a little bit deeper, I use this for bronzing. So it gives more like of a natural, perfected and bronzy look because I'm using a foundation to bronze my skin. I love like a super natural, glowy but skin-like kind of look, and this is perfect for that. I'm going to use this little brush and I'm going to just focus on the areas that I have the most discoloration. Normally I wouldn't do my brows first, but for the sake of time I already have them done. You could totally just be done here, but for me, I feel like I need like a tiny bit more cover just because I see some marks that are kind of like peeking through. So what I'm gonna do is go in with this concealer. This is like an oldie but goodie that I've had, and my favorite concealer actually for under the eyes and on different marks. And I'm just gonna lightly go back in on any areas that I see marks are kind of like peeking through more than I would like. And I'm gonna just cover them. I've really been loving using a fluffy brush. This is from Real Techniques to just kind of blend out my concealer on these areas that I need more coverage on, because I feel like it just gives it like a very natural look, and it packs it on without looking heavy and without uncovering the marks. So I'm just like patting it in. I'm not swiping. I'm not being too heavy-handed. I'm just lightly patting the makeup over those areas. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is under my eyes. So you guys know that I'm not like a huge drugstore makeup person, but I feel like I've heard so many good things about this e.l.f. concealer that I've been trying it out. I'm still a little bit on the fence about it. I purchased mine from Target. This is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I purchased mine from Target. They didn't really have that great of a shade range. They do have more online if you look at e.l.f. So the way that I found that this works best for me is if I mix it with another concealer. If I mix it with another concealer, I tend to like it much more. And if you guys have watched previous makeup videos, you'll see that I usually do my Tatcha under eye product here, but I felt like with this concealer, it wasn't really blending well, so I haven't used with that. So what I'm gonna do is take my Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer, because that's more of my shade. This is really, really thick. I heard that this is comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. I've never used the Tarte Shape Tape, but this is what it's supposed to be comparable to. So it's very thick, you don't need a lot. So what I've been doing is just putting this one on first, and then I'll add that to it. So put a layer of that one on, and then I'm gonna go back in with this one. I have the shade Medium Beige, which, like I said, for me personally, it's a bit light. Like when I wear it alone, I feel like it's too light for me. I like a more like natural, subtly highlighted look. So I just kind of put a little bit right here. Like I said, I added to the places that I already put some. I'm just gonna take my Beauty Blender and mix all of this together. And this may be a little extra for some people, but I was like, okay, this is $5, let me give it a try. And I'm trying to work with it because I'm like, for $5, I mean, you could take it back, but it's like, I kind of like it. I like that it's thicker than all the rest of my concealers. I don't have any concealers that are like really thick, but I just don't like how it looks alone. And I'm not about to go hunting down a deeper color. So I'm just like, I will just use what I have for now. It's definitely worth trying out. Like I said, it has a thicker consistency. Only problem I have is like the color. So I'm gonna make sure to blend it all the way out. As I always say, make sure when you are blending your concealer to go in one direction. That just minimizes the amount of lines you may have when you set it. So you can see it's still pretty light. Like you really don't need a lot at all. You need like the tiniest bit. I think if I could probably find like the next shade up from the one I have, that might work, because like I said, it's just a bit too light. I need a bit more warmth in my concealers. I'm really, really big on blending a lot because I want everything to look as seamless and flawless as possible. I don't want any like harsh lines. I just don't want it to look too caked up and made up. It definitely brightened up my eyes. Like I look more awake, more refreshed, but still very like subtle and natural. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that. I'm gonna use this Laura Mercier translucent powder. And lately I've been using just a brush like this to just lightly dust some powder underneath. It is set, it is blended in, and we're gonna move on to bronzer. I told you guys that I'm gonna use a deeper one for my bronzer, so I'm not gonna take nearly as much as I did before because I'm not doing my whole face. I'm just bronzing with this. And I'm gonna dot this on the areas that I would bronze. Just lightly push it into my skin. You want to make sure you push that bronzer into your hairline so it looks as natural as possible. So these are all the areas I like to bronze. I don't do so much contouring. I just like to look, you know, like you have a little bit of sun-kissed skin. Can you see how that really just like warmed up my face? Like it doesn't leave it like looking flat. It's like just by putting that foundation on the perimeters of my skin where the sun would naturally hit, I just have like a more bronzy look. So it's like highlighted in the right areas, still looks like skin, and then it kind of has like a bronzy glow. So these are a couple new mascaras that I've been trying lately. This is Better Than Sex by Too Faced, and this is Man Nakardar Beauty, a volumizing mascara. So I tried this mascara years ago when it first came out, and I was like, I don't really like it too much, but I had the opportunity to use it again, and now I actually do kind of like it. I've already kind of curled my lashes, so I'm just gonna go straight into putting the mascara on. Okay, so for whatever reason, I always like to combine mascara. So you could totally leave it like this alone. This one obviously does not have mascara on. This one does. And it looks good like this, but I'm just going to go over it again with this second mascara, just to give it more of a more dramatic look and bring out more of the length. So that's not like a huge difference, but that's with the second layer. So I just like my lashes to just look like, I don't know, I like to focus on the eyes and just like kind of make them a little bit flared and a little bit dramatic, but not too much. I don't do false lashes or anything, but my lashes are a bit long, so I just like to bring out the length as much as I can. So I'm gonna let any mascara that got on my eyelids just kind of dry for a minute before I go to take that off. And I'm going to do my powder bronzer now. So I know it seems like a lot and this is not my everyday kind of thing, but if you're doing something where you really want your makeup to stand out, or you're gonna have a long day, a lot going on, and you want your makeup to last, a good thing to do is use a liquid or cream underneath a powder. So just like how I've already done the powder or the liquid bronzer, I'm gonna go in now with a powder bronzer in the same areas that I put the liquid. And that's just gonna make it stand out more, it's gonna make it last and further blend it in. So I know it seems like I use a lot of products because I do, but as I always say, I don't really trip about the amount of products that I'm using. It's the fact that I don't want to look like I'm using a ton of products. So that's always the key. You could use 100 products, but you don't want to look like you have 100 products on your face. I mean, of course, the most minimal amount is always best and quicker, but it just depends on your skin. It depends on your preference, what you like, what your skin needs. For me, these are the things I like to use. But like I said, I don't feel like it looks like I have a ton of products on my face. So this is a blush that I've had for a while. This is the Luminoso Baked Blush by Milani. So I do my blush before my highlighter. I'm just gonna take this brush right here and just gently dab it on. I prefer to start light and then see if I want more, because I don't want it to be like too bright on my cheeks. I just want it to be really subtle. I just want like a touch of color on my cheeks. So one thing to keep in mind when doing blush is that you don't want to do this, because a lot of times when you put your blush on like this, then when you relax your face, it's not in the right placement. So I prefer to just kind of like go like that, kind of like you would similar if you're trying to find your contour areas, just to make my cheeks stand out more so I can see where I want to get it, but it's not gonna like change position once I relax my face. The next thing I'm using is this highlighter. This is the Becca, Chloe, and Malika BFFs. Becca was kind enough to send this to me to try out, and I really love this. So I think the packaging is super cute. If I can get it out of here. I love the box. It's really nice and girly. And then the packaging. It's really simple packaging, but it's still really cute. So when you open up, it has this kind of sponge just to kind of keep everything from spilling out, because it has these colors in here. So every box or every package you get is going to be really unique, because it has these little X's and O's in here that are going to give you the colors. So you can kind of like crush these. You can put them on your eyes, your cheeks, anywhere your body. It's an all over highlighter. And I'm going to use, I've been using a different brush lately for my highlighter. So I've been using something like this, a stippling brush, so that I can get a good amount on, but it doesn't look too heavy. So I really don't want to crush mine up because I like how cute it is with the X's and O's and hearts. But but I'm gonna make sure that when I'm dipping my brush in here that I'm getting like both colors. So another tip, I have all these like tips and all these stuff that I'm sharing with you guys. Hopefully they're useful. But when you're doing your highlighter, okay, so you want to make sure when you do your highlighter that your highlighter is supposed to be shown when you turn a certain way or if the light hits it. It's not supposed to be like this crazy ridiculous streak of highlight on your face from all angles. It's just supposed to be like, you know, you might turn your face a certain way, hit that light a certain way, it's like bam, there's that little highlight. So for me, I'm all about a subtle highlight. I don't like super dramatic highlight. I know some people are like freaking glowing from miles away with their highlighter, but I like mine to be a bit more subtle. I don't know if you guys can see that. Really just wanted to give your face just like a subtle glow when you turn. Like, bam, there's a highlighter. That's all you really want to do. You see how you just see that like streak of light? That's what you want. I like to put some down the middle of my nose. I also like to put highlighter in the corner of my eyes and on my brow bone. Can you see that? This side has, it's just like a little glow. Okay, next step, we are going to use this Glossier Boy Brow to set my brows. I just like to make sure that they are held in place because I do have thick brows and I'm kind of like picky about my brows. So I want to make sure that they stay looking good all day. Okay, next, what I always love to do is at the end of my makeup routine, I like to set it with this Urban Decay All Nighter. This just kind of like locks in all the makeup. If for some reason I end up crying, or if you're somebody that works out with makeup, or for some reason you get stuck in the rain, whatever the case may be, this just kind of locks it all in. I'm just gonna use this, like, I've had this forever. It has a color, it's like orange, but really on my lips it's just clear. I'm just gonna give me like a subtle orangey tint. I'm about to take y'all way back. This contour kit from Anastasia. I've been using this lately because I'm trying to use the products that I have. I never really used it when I first bought it. It was just like so hyped up. It was one of those products that she came with, you know, a couple years ago, and like everybody wanted to get it, and so I got it even though I never really used it. So this is what I like to use for my eyes. So I keep my eyes pretty simple. So I'm just gonna work with these 3 deeper shades down here, and I'm just going to basically fill in my eyelid area and then kind of like contour with that too. That's what I always do. Usually I would just use whatever bronzer I used on my face, but I was like, let me use this since I never use it. So I'm really just gonna dust this all over my eyes. It just gives it like a slight bit of color, nothing too dramatic. So I will put that all over the lids, and then I go back in and I'm just going to contour the eyes just to give it a bit more shape. Can you see the difference? Very subtle. All of my makeup is very subtle, but there's like a slight difference. I'm just gonna go in and finish the other eye, and that is it for the eyes. Super simple, super easy. Like I said, you could just use your bronzer, which is what I normally use. I'm just trying to make use of the products that I have. And lastly, I'm going to spray my face. Normally I don't have my jewelry on and my hair out, so I'm gonna cover my face. I'm gonna cover my jewelry. And this nozzle, I love this setting spray, but this nozzle is really annoying. So if you guys are curious about my hair, I've had this twist out for several days. So since my hair has gotten longer, the way that I like to preserve my hair now is I literally just tie it up with this scarf. I put it up in a pineapple with a silky scrunchie, put a braid cap on my hair, and it literally stands like straight up. I look really crazy, but I don't have to do my hair for days. It gives it volume, it preserves the curls. I mean, I do have a little bit of frizziness going on because It's been a little bit humid out here, but y'all, it saves me so much time, and I love it. Like, when your hair is shorter, I do have a video showing how to preserve your hair at night if it's shorter, but since my hair got longer, it's easier for me just to do like a high pineapple, which when my hair was shorter, I couldn't do that because it would like flatten the back of my hair. But yeah, okay, so this is not a hair video, this was a makeup video, but this is it. This is the final look. These are the products that I'm using when I do like a full face. These are the products that I'm using for my routine. I absolutely love them. They're great, various price ranges, so pick and choose, you know, whatever works for you. Check it out. Yeah. This is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. That just lets me know if this is the type of video that you guys want me to continue to make. Yeah, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.